Hello, good morning. Today I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Brian Bowers. He's the director of the new Cleveland Horror Film Festival, and it is the first edition, so it's very exciting to have him. The festival will be running from the 1st until the 3rd of October at Atlas Cinema in Shaker Square, Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Brian. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank you very much for sending me your biography, your background. And I see you work a lot in the entertainment as an actor, performer, writer, and also as an agent. So can introduce yourself to our viewers about your background before starting the festival.
Absolutely. So as you've mentioned, I've pretty much had a lifetime career working in the entertainment industry. I sort of started out as an actor, both for live theater and then also for film and commercial work and some voiceovers as well. For about 3.5 years, I worked as an agent at one of the largest modeling talent agencies, union franchised agencies here in our region. I've always been sort of attracted to the business side of the entertainment industry as well. So I was, really successful at that and sort of made a good name for myself doing that work. From there, I became more and more involved in film. And in 2008, I started working for the 48-Hour Film Project, which, if you're not familiar, is the world's largest timed filmmaking competition.
Yes.
We're in 130 cities, over 130 cities around the world. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary now, where filmmakers have 48 hours to write, produce, and edit a short film using a genre, character, line, and prop that aren't revealed until the kickoff. I ran our Cleveland event from 2008 to 2019. And then since 2010, I have also worked as Assistant Director of Operations for the global 48-Hour Film Project. So I work with the producers that are hosting the events in the various cities around the world and help them with, marketing and outreach to filmmakers and really everything they need to have a successful 48-hour event.
Yes.
I sort of retired from running the Cleveland events in 2019 because I wanted to focus on some of these other film projects, including the Cleveland Horror Fest.
Yes, and I understand. It's very interesting and also challenging starting a film festival right now because we have a lot right now around the world and also in the States. But I want to ask you about why you choose a horror festival and why in Cleveland.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, why Cleveland? Because I'm from the area. I live in Cleveland Heights, which is just outside of downtown Cleveland, and many people outside the area may not realize this, but the Cleveland is actually a great place for independent filmmakers. We have a very strong film community. We both get, sort of the big Hollywood films that come in because we have a great tax incentive here in Ohio. But we also have just this whole community of locally produced films and a whole network of filmmakers, actors, crew, writers, and musicians. And it's really a great place to have any sort of filmmaking event. So it seemed very natural to me to start something up here.
Yes.
As far as why horror, I'm sort of a lifetime horror film fan myself. I can remember watching, even from a very young age, the fun thing to do for us as a child in my house was to stay up late on Friday nights and watch the Big Chuck and Little John show, which there are two local Cleveland icons that had this weekly show where they would have like some sketch comedy and interviews and stuff, and then they would usually show like a horror film at night. So that's sort of where I developed that love for the horror genre. And over the years, I've just watched probably thousands of horror films, and I really like them all. So this was my opportunity to sort of share my love of filmmaking and specifically share my love of horror films with the rest of the world.
Yes, I remember that I think most of the good horror films made in the States are set outside of big cities like New York or Los Angeles, like Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, the settings are outside of the big cities, small towns maybe. You have the chance of creating, a lot of paranormal stuff and digging some, urban legends, of the region. But tell me, your viewership in horror, it extends to non-American or only American films?
Oh no, I try to watch films from as many different areas as possible. I'm a big fan of really horror films from everywhere. There's a lot of great Japanese horror films. There's a lot of great ones in the Netherlands. Australia is another great place. The Middle East. Italy, of course, has their own whole, the giallo.
Of course.
There's definitely, I like to watch from many different countries and many different cultures, and because it's sort of we're all scared by the same sort of things, but
Yes.
It's nice to see that different viewpoint and how they share that with the filmmaker, with the audience when they're telling that scary story.
Yes. Right now, can you tell our audience and filmmakers how can people submit their films and what is the deadline? It's only on the website clevelandhorror.com or on other platforms.
So you can get all the information on our website, clevelandhorror.com, but we're also on Film Freeway. That is the easiest way to send us your films or also screenplays.
Yes.
We have a horror screenplay competition, any length script. And that's sponsored by the International Screenwriters Association. And you can submit those scripts as well as films through Film Freeway or through our website.
Excellent. And the winning screenplays, do they have the potential of gaining like some funds or production later on?
Possibly.
Yes.
That's always the hope, right?
Of course.
And that's one of the things, one of my goals for starting a festival like this is to do things like that, to, be able to showcase the filmmakers, but also give some of these new unproduced works, hopefully an opportunity to, come to life and come to fruition as an actual film. So, I have a number of sponsors on board already, but there's a number of other ones in the works as well that, could be a sort of entryway to have maybe some of these top screenplays turned into films.
Hmm. But tell me, Brian, any surprise guests coming up or scream queens in the festival?
So we didn't we didn't try to get any celebrities this year. This year,
Uh-huh.
just with the uncertainty, surrounding COVID,
Of course.
being a first year festival, I wanted to keep it primarily about, showcasing the films, showcasing the screenplays, and then having a series of workshops. We're doing, we have workshops lined up in filmmaking, screenwriting, and acting, as well as a number of different panels on the same sorts of subjects. So I wanted to keep the focus on that for this year. I can tell you that we have some cool people that are going to be involved on the jury panel and workshops. One, there's a really prominent special effects artist in Hollywood named Alan Tusks, who
Yes.
happens to be from the Cleveland area. And
Yes.
he is going to be on our jury panel, and he's also going to be leading a special effects workshop, which
Excellent.
we haven't finalized exactly what he's going to be doing, but I can tell you it's going to be really, really cool and really fun.
Is he specialized in mechanical or graphics, visual effects?
Practical special effects.
Yeah. I think these are the best, most
Absolutely.
realistic,
Yeah.
Mhm. I like very much, the era before Jurassic Park and Terminator 2, because, the Alien, of course, Stan Winston and all this, real life, mechanical effects, it used to be wonderful. I remember watching as well stuff like King Kong, with Jessica Lange, if you remember, and Jeff Bridges. Yes, it was very, very beautiful. And right now, yes, please.
It's quite an art to put that together.
Yes. I remember my even if you remember Clash of the Titans, the previous one, and I remember watching it, and the Medusa when it appeared on the screen, it gave me the creeps. I was like 10 years old,
Right.
Really everybody in the theater who used to watch in MGM Cinema in Cairo, Metro Cinema, and I remember everybody was holding his breath until Harry Hamlin cut her head, if you remember the scene, So I think this is one of the most powerful moments in cinema. And I remember watching the very first Amityville with James Brolin. These kind of horror film, and of course Hammer horror. We spoke about European horror films, of course. But Brian, will the festival focus on certain subgenre like thrillers, like paranormal, like ghosts, stuff like that, or it will be broad horror presentations?
So I'm trying to get representation in a lot of the different subgenres. So we have some films that are more thrillers, some that are slasher films, some supernatural. I really want to make it as eclectic as possible because there's a lot of great subgenres out there, and I think it's fun for people to to kind of mix it up, especially at a festival like this. You want to get some variety and bring a lot of different dynamics to sort of the films that are available.
Yes. And Brian, among your projects as well, 40hourfilm.com and Gorilla Film School, I'd like to speak very fast about them, and so people can know all your practice as well.
Sure. The 48-hour film project, again, is the largest timed filmmaking competition in the world. We're in over 130 cities, and that's something that basically anybody can do, because anybody can make a film in 48 hours. Excuse me. And it's a great opportunity to have a finished film at the end of the weekend, and then also have it shown up on the big screen in a local cinema. So that's been a really great thing to be a part of over the years. Guerrilla Film School is sort of my take on guerrilla filmmaking, and is really a platform to educate filmmakers and actors a little bit more about some of the soft skills that are involved in filmmaking and entertainment. So a lot of the business things, marketing, some like conceptual creative thinking, that sort of thing.
Yes, very good. Right now, final questions, Brian. Right now, I want to know how many films so far you have received approximately, and also the different section of the festival, how many competitions, and the jurors, how many jurors? Very fast.
So we're going to have at least three jurors in the for the films, and at least three for the screenplays. We've had dozens and dozens and dozens, both in all entries. So for feature films, shorts, as well as screenplays, we are going to, obviously we can't screen them all over a 3-day festival. We are hopefully, we can expand next year and be able to include some more films. But we're looking at doing probably 10, 12 features. I think it's going to be about 40 to 50 short and medium length films. And then we have all of the workshops that we're doing, the film panels, and some parties as well.
Excellent. Brian Bowers, I want to thank you very much for joining me live. I wish you the best of luck in preparation for the first edition, for the workshop, for the screenings. I hope the audience as well can reach out for theaters to come back to see films on the big screen.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know a lot of big film festival like Tribeca and Sundance in the United States and maybe San Francisco started, very small, and expanded to have an international level. So I hope in a couple of years your festival will reach the same level or maybe more.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Best wishes. And I will be following up the news with you. And best of luck to you and all the staff.
Sounds good.
Have a good day.
You too.
Take care. Ciao.